Hello. This is your light bright here, creative healer, giving you a peace of mind to at least that one person at a time. Today I have a pick a card. I'm trying to switch some things up, y'all. I've been really it's been a little funky the past couple months. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, okay? Even 200. But I want to do a pick a card pile because um, I still like to do my videos for the new moon and the full moon. The new moon is about really looking at what energy is being illuminated so you can work on those things um, during that phase between the new moon and the full moon, right? So once the full moon comes, you know exactly what it is to release. Um, it really kind of depends, but because you know I'm all about that creativity, and it's really about your uniqueness, how you want to do it and create, right? It's always a process, but you have to find that process. But new moon is about illuminating, you know, calling things in, bringing new things in your life. And the full moon is about releasing and, looking at more of the shadow side. But honestly, it can be either or. I really do feel that because sometimes I'm releasing stuff so I can bring in new things on the new moon. And sometimes I'm calling in new things for the full moon. So it really doesn't, it's not like a rule, but do what feels best and resonates with you and feels good for you. That's all I'm going to say. So this is inspired by the new moon. We have affirmations. I've been taking some soul care for myself, right? And I came up with 4 affirmations because this is something that, I like to do. And I want you to look at what basically you're gravitated towards, okay? So the first one does say, I celebrate the milestones I've taken in this journey. That's for pile 1. For pile 2 is, I am grateful for the lessons I finally learned from my once thought failures. Pile 3 is, I trust I know what to do in every situation I make. In every decision I make. And I speak positivity over my thoughts and actions for pile 4. So I want you to take a deep breath. While you're taking a nice deep breath in and feeling your energy, your intuition, which one you're gravitated to. Of course, you can pick more than one pile. It's up to you. But start with the one that, I suggest to start with the one that fits best or feels more gravitated to you. I also want to talk before I start that I do have a creative soul circle that I've been doing for the past 8 weeks, I feel like now. And it really helps us creative souls really come together, rejuvenate our energy, recharge. We do a little meditation, breathing work. We get a little card reading up in there, you know what I'm saying? And then we also do a few other things that really help recharge and just discuss ways to remove blocks, all right? If you're on Facebook, definitely come through because I have a group where I'm blogging and posting about certain other things that can help you with your soul care through cards and other creative endeavors. And yeah, come through and check me out. The links are below. So let's get started with pile 1. Okay, so pile 1. I hope you can, is this like... So if you can't see and if it's blurry, I just want to tell you that this affirmation you picked for pile 1 is, I celebrate the milestones I've taken in this journey. So this is really about affirming this, whether you've been feeling really bad, really down and out, and you're at this point where it could be a clean slate and you're like, what do I do next? Appreciate. Just recognize and appreciate where you're at right now, because that can help bring in that energy of what you need, people you may need to connect with, just energy all around. So let's just throw in here. I got my goddess cards out. If there's any guys watching this, we can relate to the gods here too, okay? And then knowledge. So we have number 17. This is the card that we have. It's called Satira, I think. Satira. And it has Brazen. She looks very abundant. There's a choo-choo train. Why did I say choo-choo train? There's a train in the background here. You're going places. And I'm very sure you're thinking of a lot of abundance. She has a lot of fruit that she's carrying. There's some fruit on the floor. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I'm looking at, as well as a knife. And it's interesting too because this says knowledge, and swords always talk about knowledge and wisdom. So this energy is where you're at right now, which is beautiful. And this is the energy that you need to kind of like step into for this next cycle that you're going through. I kind of also see for some of you all too, like, see this guy, the boy reading this book. This is kind of like the inner child, like looking at the inner child, and he's like in his own little space that he feels safe, right? Safe and grounded with this red, the red that he has on, and he's reading through something. You know, either he's imagining something or he's reading something, but I feel like this is you, whether it's your younger self or just you right now, really writing down and looking, going through some things to remind you of the milestones that you've made already, that you've taken on this journey, and really celebrate it. You know, make a lantern, make gratitude, celebrate, decorate, you know. A party can be one person and your spirit guides. You know, it sounds kind of crazy to some, I'm sure, but at the same time, like, who has ever celebrated their birthday by themselves? You know, it's almost like that. And if you've never done that, ask yourself why. Ask yourself, what can you achieve? Like, what can you feel into this? So I'm going to just read out this book because I'm just started kind of working with these. I don't work with these goddess cards that much, but let's see. So it's the goddess of brazenness, Guyana. It's fire and element too. So goddess Sitara is the energy and spirit of the buttocks in Guyana, South America. Satira is brave, bold, brazen, barefaced, casting a spell with her hips. So step up, go for it. Partner with the divine to make brazen choices, and everything meant to diminish you will alleviate you. All who mean you harm fall away. Your hurdles and illusions become you. Your hurdles are illusions because you are plugged into source. So this is something that is talking about make the brazen decision. What would you dare to do if you knew you couldn't fail? Interesting. What would you dare to do? I feel that there's a need for you to look into some things. As a creative soul, you know, please comment below and let me know if you do this. But sometimes we have books of ideas, right? Because we just have this flow of creativity and we're like, I don't want to forget it, right? So you put it in a book. For some of y'all, I feel like you need to go back to that book with ideas and see which ones you have completed and which ones you haven't, so you can feel that celebratory energy, so you can feel that brazen energy, so you can feel joyous within your journey of where you're at and feel more grounded and secure with where you're going. For some of you, you may need to, you know, learn something. Maybe you feel like, I'm not really sure, like the question asks, what would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? Well, maybe for some, you would learn about some of the things so you can feel more secure and know like, okay, I got this. I feel like I am knowledgeable about this and I won't fail. You know what I mean? Like, this train is definitely going somewhere though. I'm also seeing like technology, I guess, too, because I just keep looking at this train, and the train was very, not inventive. What is the word? it was a very huge invention though. I don't know if it was invented in the late 1700s, but I definitely know trains came about in the 1800s. If I'm, wrong with that, you can let me know. But it's just reminding me of the turn of the century and how like each century, and maybe not really each century now, but we have these bursts of ideas, these renaissances, and the creatives start getting all these downloads, right? On a spiritual note. And they just get overwhelmed, and, the spirit within them becomes ignited and feels like they need to do something, and then they share with others, and then they inspire others. And then it's just a domino effect. And for some, maybe not, but I'm speaking to my creative souls here, and we feel that, whether you're in the front of the Renaissance or whether you're in the middle or the back, it doesn't really matter. You still feel that energy. And looking at this too, it's like this light. So you are really, there's more light here. You're getting lit up with ideas, but part of you all may be feeling like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do. Step into that boldness. And for others, if they feel like they're in that brazen energy and that boldness, there's still like this curiosity of what to do next, because you feel like you've tried everything, right? And it's like, where am I going? Read up on it, think about it, learn up on something, and hop on that train to the next area of your life of where you need to go. Are there any other messages for what this is going on right now? Well, it does say it is brazen to be unapologetically you. So I am bold, I am brave, I am shameless, and I am brazen. I also celebrate the milestones of where this journey has taken me. I just want to say this too. Maybe this train, right? This train took a pit stop for you to celebrate, because it looks like, if you see her dress, like, this is so beautifully drawn. Her dress is like moving. It's almost like she's dancing, with abundance on her head, knowing that she has abundance in knowledge and abundance within herself. All right. So honor that. This is what's being lit up for you right now in this new moon. And moving forward, learn on some things, or go back in some of your idea books. Go back into looking at the milestones. I also, for some reason, this is a specific message, but maybe go back and look at some photos. Maybe you even have a photo album. I don't know how old you are, but for those that know about real photos in your hand, go back and look at that. That may be very helpful for where you're trying to go or what you're trying to do. All right. I said I was going to do tarot. Do I want to? Let's do tarot. Let's pull the cards. Let's do a little bit of tarot just for some further messages on how to really take on this energy right now and really like where to go with it. Okay. And I got one more for y'all too. I don't really want to make this long. There we go. All right. I'm actually going to do it like this. Okay. Is this in? Yes, it is. I hope it is in. All right, y'all. I'm like, is it there? Get one card for you. Okay. Love it. Again, we have the Six of Swords, which is talking about journeying. Six of Swords is traveling to somewhere, calmer waters, you know, brighter sunshine, and away from like cloudy storms, honestly. Because it's about healing, you know. Some make the Six of Swords, it looks like an adult, right? And then it looks like a small person. Let's take him. This small person could be your kid, right? But it could be your younger self as well. But it's definitely to common waters. A lot of you have, let's use some tools here. A lot of you have been going through a lot of emotions. And you've came to a place in your healing journey that you've healed a lot of things, you know, a lot of inner child work, a lot of just drama and trauma that have really held you back from partnering with people, or just really helping you be your true self, you know, and honoring yourself and giving you that self-love that you deserve. Some of you have been helping so many people that you really forgot who you were, because you just been like on autopilot, like, I gotta help them, I gotta save them, I gotta do this, you know. Like some of you, like, this is not a cloak, this is a cape for you. And we're not the cape, we're not the superhero anymore, we're not the vigilante anymore, you know. Put that down. You need to do that for yourself right now, because you have tired yourself out. I see a lot of yellow in this too, and it's really, you know, I feel that there was something that your little self was saying that was like, yo, I gotta help these people, like these people need help. But after a while, you being a kid trying to help like older people, even peers, like after a while, how are you helping yourself with that? Where is the reciprocation coming back? You know? So it's time to move to calmer waters. It's time to actually give yourself rest. It's time to really celebrate as much as that you've done, all the work that you've done on this journey, and have faith for the next one, because there is some crown chakra, there is some brow chakra, right? The third eye. There's a lot that's coming in for you. And I think that like for a while, it's just been kind of a really lonely journey, right? Very few people that you have met, and a lot has been taken away from you. But a lot has been taken from you so you can see the new things ahead. And I think that a lot of you have seen a lot of those things ahead, but it's like, where is it? You know, like some of you may have that gift of seeing, that gift of vision, clarity, but it doesn't, it's like you'll second guess it, because it's like, where is it right here? But trust and believe it's going to come. It's just a long time coming, and you will meet more people that are in your soul tribe. You will meet more people that fulfill you, you know, and fill your cup up and have that reciprocation here, reciprocity for sure. But this long journey needed you to be aware of a few things. And just because your pain is understandable doesn't mean your behavior is acceptable. For some of you, you needed to understand that for yourself as well as others, so you can have better boundaries. A lack of boundaries invites a lack of respect. You know, I don't know about you, but a lot of times I'm like, oh, I understand them. But just because I understood them, like, it's still their wrongdoings, them hurting me still needed to be handled, you know. It still needed to be like, okay, I'm not accepting this here, so now I gotta put up the boundary, you know. And it shouldn't really, like, it's crazy, but a lot of times we feel that we have to put up a boundary because, oh, I got hurt, right? But how about it's like, I'm this is what I want in my life. This is the type of respect that I want to give to myself. Therefore, I deserve that. Once you're aware of it, now let's move forward, right? Not out of anger, but out of compassion for self, you know. And this is where gratitude comes in, because a grateful heart gains many blessings. It really does. Like, a grateful heart can't truly be grateful unless they remove a lot of the low vibes, the hurt, the pain, the anger, the resentment, you know. And it takes time. It takes time. But many of you that pick pile 1, you you got king status, baby. You got king status, and you really do need to celebrate because it takes, I know, my big old heart that I'm always carrying around and showing people is going to get dirty. It's going to get stabbed. It's going to get ripped up. But yet and still, I still show up with a big heart until I was like, you know what, I'm stuffing this heart away and nobody's going to get it. But then I locked it away so far, I didn't even know where to find it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times we do ourselves a disservice when we hide our true selves. And this journey that you've been on has really been helping you reconnect to your true self. And I do feel that you're going to get gifted with reciprocation. Why am I saying reciprocation? I don't know. I'm getting mixed up with the words. I don't think right now Mercury retrograde is quite over. But yeah, I want y'all to have faith. Where you're going right now is definitely something that I hope this message really like confirms this. In the meantime, you know, instead of having your nerves all tense and whatnot, in the meantime, you move to calmer waters again by looking at some old photos that helps you celebrate these milestones, by looking in a journal that helps you celebrate these milestones. Do something, and I feel like it's a book, or even learn something new that helps you really step into your power and be empowered and say, yes, like I came a long way and I'm so grateful. So grateful. You know, because a lot of times too, we could be twiddling our thumbs, waiting for all this stuff. Like, when is it coming? You know what I mean? And a lot of this stuff is like divine timing. And it's just like, I know I do not really even like that word right now because it's just like, when? But if you continue to keep saying when, you're going to distract yourself from really doing other things and take away from your soul care, your self-care, your self-love. So move forward with celebrating, loving up on where you've came from, and just trusting more, finding ways to trust more and have faith of where you're going, because you didn't see that vision for no reason. You are moving to calmer waters, and a lot of people unfortunately could not come with you, but it wasn't enough room for that. You know what I mean? And if people really want to come, people know how to do it, but they got to come correct, right? So that's my new moon in Aquarius message for you. I hope that resonates with you. Please check out the links below. Share, like, and subscribe, baby. Okay, because I got some new things going, and it's about community. It's about creative souls. It's about healing and celebrating together, empowering each other. And yeah, and again, too, if you're on Facebook, check that group out. It's the same thing, and you get alerted and spoken about and have access to these creative soul circles that I got going on. All right, much love to you. Until next time, I'm outie. Peace. Let's move on to pile 2. Okay, my pile 2s. Here we have the affirmation. I am grateful for the lessons I finally learned from my once thought failures. I wrote that a little bit different. I know I could just say I'm thankful for the lessons, you know, but it's really kind of focusing on failures. You know, a lot of times we sit and sulk about failing, and, you know, it's like, oh, I'm a failure. You're ashamed. You feel guilty, whatever. It's a lot of low vibes, right? But until you actually are able to go through those feelings, those emotions, when you're able to actually, just embrace the journey, you know what I mean? And embrace gratitude. That gratitude allows you to open yourself up to deeper lessons of what you were learning within that failure, you know, and knowing that it's okay. And actually seeing failure as something or nothing to be fearful about, but everything to embrace, right? So let's talk about your present, where you're presently at with the goddess cards, okay? And then what we can do, what we can like look forward to moving out of this new moon energy, okay? Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Okay, wow, this is interesting too. So we have the goddess Tanit, I believe, right? And it says pleasure, and then it says dream. So this goddess right here, which looks very, I just love the illustrations. It already looks like she's in a dream, right? Doesn't it? I see her with a lot of clouds, a lot of purple, you know, a lot of crown chakra energy, I feel like. This kind of looks like the moon, and this does look like the Hamsfa, if I'm saying it right. I feel like I'm saying it wrong, y'all, but that is the hand for the evil eye, you know, just like, not going there, mofo. Also, all-seeing, it goes hand in hand with the evil eye and the all-seeing eye. People kind of twist it, but I'm not going to get into that because I want to stick into this reading, okay? But yeah, this seems like the goddess of dreams. Like, this is almost like maybe you guys are actually in meeting your dreams right now, you know? Because this affirmation is like, yo, I'm grateful that you finally learned these lessons, you know? Like, these lessons weren't really, these lessons, these failures, right, are not really, they're not failures, you know, you're seeing them as lessons and you're just grateful for them. Let's look into the book because, again, I'm not really familiar too much with these cards, but I like them. I just don't use them that much. So let's see. Number 11, Tanit, I guess. Goddess of pleasure. So Tanit is a goddess of the stars in the ancient Carthage. Today, all the way over in Ibiza, they still have pleasure-filled full moon midnight table dance parties in her name. Wow. Tanit's guidance. You are thirsty for more pleasure. You can't thrive when life feels dry. You are made of laughter and stardust, not sawdust. All right, was that supposed to make me laugh? It's easy to make me laugh anyway. Pleasure is your birthright, a gift from the universe. So, how much juicy pleasure can you stand? Turn up the pleasure principle. Pleasure principle. Oh, oh, oh. Who knows that? That's a little old Janet Jackson, y'all. Anyway, so I have two messages. Some of y'all right now really need to embody this goddess of Tanit, right? Because some of y'all may be kind of looking like this, stuck, you know, in slumber, dreaming, wanting to be in the heavens, really not being down on earth, like earth to so-and-so. And a lot of people that do that, honestly, I do feel, one, they're highly connected to spirit. And two, it's kind of like a escapism type of thing. Because we do need to understand the material, you know. We can go like a lot deeper into this and people are like, well, why are we even here? What is earth? I don't know, right? But at the same time, one thing I can say that I feel like people can relate to is that we're experiencing and stepping into a purpose. Everything has a purpose, just like the cows and the bugs and the deers and all that stuff, the clouds, everything has a purpose. And a lot of stuff, especially recently with all this technology, makes it feel like, what is the purpose? You know? But when you tap into your spirit, when you connect with your soul, when you connect with the higher energy, we're talking about goddesses and gods, ascendant masters, that helps us connect with, you know, who we are on the inside and not all these labels that we attach ourselves to, right? And sometimes we can attach ourselves to labels that don't make us feel good, that don't feel pleasurable, and we just, you know, detach and just be all up in our head, daydreaming and stuff. But let me tell you something. The people that are able to do that have beautiful imaginations. And the thing about imagination, about creativity, my creative souls, it's all up there, but it has to be grounded into the physical. And people that tap into their creativity can do that. You know, a lot of people always be like, I'm not creative. Yes, you are. You're not looking at your unique abilities to practice and process the way your creativity comes out, to express them. There needs to be an expression. And this expression we are tapping into is pleasure. So some of you, I feel like, have been feeling like, oh, I just don't know what to do. You know, I have all these ideas, but they keep falling through. Like, what's the purpose of these ideas? Da 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 da. You know what I mean? And there's really a need for you to tap into this pleasure. You know, utilize that gift of imagination and tap into pleasure and start figuring out ways that you can actually implement that into something that is material. You know, it doesn't always have to be sold somewhere. It could just be your own hobby, your own creativity. But, you know, if your stuff starts gravitating and people and stuff like that want to see, and maybe you don't really want to give it away for free because you see a lot more value in it, then start coming up with a way that you can sell your stuff now. You know what I mean? But for others of you, I feel like if you already embodied this gratitude and really am like coming to grateful of these lessons, there's something opening up from the pleasure you're giving to yourself, from the self-love that you're giving to yourself. It's something opening up that is allowing you to see and utilize that imagination right now, you know, because this is what is being illuminated for you, this pleasure, whether you need the pleasure or whether you're already in this pleasurable energy. This is what's illuminating, and we're moving towards these dreams, right? We're walking towards these dreams. We're stepping into the dream world so you can be guided on your next moves that can bring more pleasure, as well as hopefully give pleasure to other people. So let's see what we have here with the tarot. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Let's see. There's two. Let me get one more. All right, now let's get one more here. Thank you. All right, so let's see what we got. Okay. All right, so I think some of, or a lot of you watching this may not have quite learned some of the lessons because the Hierophant is upside down, you know what I'm saying? But, there's still a process of grieving. There's still a process of figuring out your emotions, because honestly, like, you know, the word failure really does mean that you failed, you didn't win, and it means that something fell through, you know, what you thought you was doing just didn't happen. But when we're tapping into the spiritual nature of things, right, rejection many times is redirection. You're working on something, boo, but you need to feel pleasurable. I know I'm speaking to my creative souls, right? A lot of you may not consider like, oh, what is a creative soul, right? You know, but those that are listening and just like that term, you've been working on something, but it keeps feeling like you're falling through, but it's a lot of emotions are blocking you. A lot of emotions are blocking you. Let's get one of these. Okay, yeah. Should I say any more, y'all? Whew. that energy of guilt really, really blocks our creative energy. Because you know why? It blocks, it just has a lot of blocks with our sacral chakra, which is the chakra of energy, which is the chakra of creativity, which is a chakra of emotions. Okay, what do we have here? All right. The love that you withhold is the pain that you carry. So the love that you withhold from others is because there's pain you're carrying, right? And a lot of times, you're also withholding that love from yourself because you're still in that pain energy. And many times when we aren't grateful, um, when we're stuck in guilt, right? When we're stuck in these low energies, we're not even thinking about being grateful. We're thinking about how we were victimized. We're thinking about what happened to us and why me. And it's, I know for some of y'all it's kind of hard to hear, but I know I go there sometimes too. It's like, I don't want to say brat, because that, I really don't like that word, but it's this energy of just ungratefulness, right? um it's this energy of really just not being validated for who you are and not having that clarity or closure to what really happened. And this is where like grief comes in. Like you don't have to have, like, grief isn't only for people that have lost someone, like to a death, or um grief can also be because you're in this depressive energy. Grief is really a lot of steps of low vibrations that really help you. It's like you're processing this. It's like processes of the heart, honestly. Um, but with guilt, I feel like a lot of y'all might be just in this depressive energy because you haven't quite um learned the lesson. You haven't quite allowed spirit to shine and shower their love on you. And a lot of you have to realize that many times you feel disconnected with whatever spirits from that is outside of you, is because the main spirit inside of you isn't lit up yet, or it's just shining really dull. And it's a paradox, y'all. Like there's a spirit within and there's a spirit without. And in order to connect, both of them have to acknowledge each other and be like, okay, like let's connect now. um you working and working and working, and nobody really validating you for your work. Nobody coming to the party. Like I was just thinking about birthdays not too long ago, because somebody had a birthday the other day, a few days ago, and it's like, I know that anybody, besides them, anybody that has a party and invites people, if no one shows up, anybody's going to feel some type of sadness, like, damn. But if it keeps happening, then you really start feeling like, oh, what's going on here, And our subconscious really be holding like mad keys, y'all. But for us to be aware, for our subconscious to move to our consciousness, we have to be aware. The key has to unlock that. So we got to be aware of those keys. And this is what, can y'all see that in here? Like the Hierophant is more of like a masculine energy, I guess they say, of the High Priestess. But it's really all about like someone in the physical, right? That is like the guru or the spiritual guide or the spiritual teacher, something like that. And I feel like we all have that, honestly, within ourselves. But if we need to be shooken up or woken up or redirected or just supported spiritually, then we do go to some of these people. And back in the day with tarot, it used to be like the Pope, the bishop, whatever. But nowadays, or even back in the day, ancient times, we went to that Hierophant. Like, we went to that spiritual leader that was within the tribe. And you know, they had ways to remove guilt, but like, look at this. Like, she's chained to this. This is what guilt will do. It will chain you to shame. It will chain you to feeling disdained and sorrow. Like, you see this in the background too. Like, it chains you to people too. Like, it's like it connects you and chains you to people that are doing you dirty or disservices, but you keep showing up anyway because it's this pain that you really want to be looked at and nurtured, but subconsciously it's not allowing you to do that, right? But we're going to move forward because we're going to find that soul care. We're going to find that self-love and be on that journey of self-love for some of y'all. If some of y'all are on that, there's just a big trust right now for this new moon to really help you embody and trust that everything is on your side, and you can make creativity pleasurable again. Creativity comes from your spirit. You got these gifts. These gifts are God-given gifts, right? They're not for everybody else. If you're having a hard time, then stop trying to please everybody else. Allow this creativity to soothe you and heal you, and do these creative activities for yourself and by yourself, so it can really soothe you, so you can really look at some of these emotions, so you can really transform these emotions and really give yourself that full cup that you need, right? Serenade your own self. Go on a date with your own self. You know, I know it's hard. I really do. Y'all just don't know how I know how hard it is. But many times, these are tough lessons that you need to learn by yourself, so you can realize that these failures, you turn these failures around. All right? And for those that are feeling the pleasure already right now, give thanks. Give thanks and continue to work on these creative projects, right, that can help transform any other crumbs of grief or depression that you have encountered and experienced on this journey. But the whole message here really is about start working on more of your self-love, right? Start tapping into that gratitude of these lessons and feel pleasurable about where you are in the present moment in this new moon energy, because it's going to allow you to be able to start seeing your dreams, start meeting and reaching your dreams, right? But we can't do it without self-love and removing the guilt. We definitely can't do that. So this new moon you may need to look at your sacral chakra, try to balance it out some. If you guys don't know how to do that, most definitely hit me up here. I have a lot of new things popping off, you know. But I do want to share with you all that best of luck for this new moon. Give yourself some rest. Don't soak in depression, but give yourself some self-care, some self-love, and keep practicing. Keep it up. Practice makes progress, okay? I don't like to say perfect. We don't want to get stuck in that cycle. Practice makes progress. And if you're looking for more support, check my Facebook group out. The link is below, and you get also notified about my Creative Soul Circle that I have, which is more of a group thing, but we really discuss the creative blocks, anything that has been blocking and how we transform that. We have breathing activities, creative activities, and of course, my cards. And I really help you all just step into soul care practices that can really help inspire, motivate, and remove that out of the way, okay? So much love to you. Like, share, and subscribe. Please comment below. I love to see the comments. And until next time, I'm outie. I'm moving to pile 3. Hello, my pile 3s. Let me fix this nicely. So, you picked the affirmation, I trust I know what I do in every decision I make. So there's like a lot of trust here. You might have trust issues. When we say trust issues, we can't blame everybody, you know, because at the end of the day, you got to start trusting yourself. Trusting yourself, like, hey, that person was not for me, never was for me. I don't know why I was listening to that person, you know what I mean? Other times, we could be talking about trusting our gifts, trusting our spirit guides and guardian angels and all that jazz, right? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so we might have some readers out here or someone that definitely likes cards. This goddess is what is being illuminated right now in this new moon. And this goddess is Abolnima. Oh, I'm messing this up. Nimba. Abolnimba. Abolnimba. Okay. And this is harvest. So let's see what she's about. It looks like she's about kind of like pile 2, like dancing, feeling pleasurable. We're getting all the goddesses that are really like abundant. Like it shows like plentiful of food here. Let's see what she's about. I don't usually do these cards, so I'm kind of like, I don't really know what's going on here. I tend to, I don't use this as much, but I felt guided to. If I can get her out, okay. Oh, so she's High Priestess. So Abol is a Baga fertility goddess, and Nimba is her living spiritual healing mask. Together they embody the sacred feminine in abundance. So it says, give thanks. You're being blessed. It's harvest time. Pray attention. Wow, okay. A season of great harvest is a season of great epiphanies. You are prospering, baby. The baby part was me, not in the book. So this says, what seeds of generosity, love, support, and goodwill can you sow in your community to create a bountiful harvest? Oh, this is nice. So actually, y'all, I feel like for this group, I feel like you guys you've been thinking about groups. This new moon is really illuminating some things that you've already been like cultivating here. And this possibly may be a confirmation for some. 43, I don't know if that's significant to any, but 4 and 3 breaks down to 7. So that I could kind of see why this is the goddess of fertility and whatnot too. She shines light on things and brings harvest. What are y'all doing here? This is about community and how can you bring in community and help others. Y'all got a plan here. That's what I'm thinking. Right now, y'all got a plan and you're kind of not trusting it enough to move forward, right? But maybe this reading is a confirmation for that. I don't know. I'm just looking at this and this is making me feel like you're at a place, whether you know it or not, that you're pretty balanced with your energy. Because I'm like looking at the colors, and sometimes I look at the colors and it resonates with the chakras, and I'm seeing a lot of green, I'm seeing a lot of red, orange. Like this is the lower chakras, but it's interesting because if I saw it this way, the lower chakras are at the higher space, right? And then this beautiful purple is more into the lower on the earth plane with the green. So I'm just really picking up like y'all are like balanced, or you need to be a little bit more balanced so you can trust, but y'all are like right at the precipice. I like that word. Y'all just don't know it. It's so many things within your arm's reach, like literally, like, you know, like she can easily pick one of these up, even one of these things from the ground, but she's just dancing in it like, hey. And some of y'all, if y'all are just dancing in your stuff and like you're feeling good, do that, continue, but you got to bring in that trust. Grab that trust, because there's a lot of things that are around you that you don't quite see. And like, this is the illumination, and this is what you kind of need to do to kind of like get into this, right? For some of y'all may be readers already. Pull your cards out. You know, I'm thinking maybe just start off with 3 days consecutively, like each morning, or each night, and just pull some cards for yourself, you know. And there's a lot of questions that I like to ask, just what do I need to hear right now? Because when you can trust that, you trust your intuition, you trust your spirit guides, and you trust the message that is being revealed to you right now, because that's what you need to hear right now, right? But for others, like maybe get a tarot reading. Like if you were thinking about like, oh, should I get a tarot reading for this? Yeah, get a tarot reading. You know, I do tarot readings, y'all. But get a reading. It's not always about tarot. I know the word tarot is very popular and it relates to cards. But like for instance, I started a Facebook group, and I definitely would like to talk more about how cards can be incorporated into your soul care, you know, your self-care. And it's not always about tarot. It's about trusting your intuition. And I love to talk about this. Maybe this is my pile, I don't know. But I'm gonna go back to y'all. There's ways that you can utilize this. It's not always for other people. It's a tool for yourself, you know? And it's about tapping into your intuition, tapping into your intuitive the energies around you as well as within you. And you got to be more secure and sound with yourself first, so you can understand the messages or understand what type of energy you're connecting with. Because sometimes, you know, all energy ain't good energy. You know, there's good and bad. This is, you know, there's light and dark, there's all of that. And sometimes you may not realize that you're tapping into that either, you know. And it's nothing to be afraid of, and it's nothing to be ashamed of either. Like, this is just what energy is. And a lot of times in this day and age, a lot of people don't a lot of people just do stuff quick, right? And they don't read up on it. Like, a lot of history is lost, has been hidden, all that stuff, right? But if you do spend time with yourself and you do care about it more, and you want a better foundation for what you're doing, you're going to dig into that information and find that. And this is the thing here, trust. When you're doing your cards, when you're doing divination, the biggest part of it is trust. The biggest part is trust, okay? And whether you're doing it for other people or you're doing it for yourself, because I've met some people like, oh, I mean, I dab with tarot every now and then, but I don't do it for other people. And I've always asked, well, why? And they're like, I just don't really like trust it, or I don't really feel right, you know, because it's another whole energy that you're tapping into. And sometimes, you know, like you might just have a fear of expressing things, whatever, but you can still use it for your own self, for your own practice. You know, you don't have to do everything for people. You know, like the wisest person divined things first before they actually took heed to doing other stuff, you know, because they know that they trust themselves enough to sit with and get answers with first. And then they'll probably entertain or listen to the opinions. But they don't go out and get opinions from every Tom, Dick, and Harry and then be like, oh, what should I do? No, you sit with yourself first. So you have a lot of like abundance here. You've probably been working on some type of plan. I'm not quite sure. But I think the message for y'all, Pile 3, is use your divination tools to console with yourself, your spirit crew, and figure out your best next move. So let's see, let's use some tarot and see what your next best move is, okay? Okay, one more. Oh, all right. think you've been sitting for too long. That's the first thing that is coming to mind right now. I think you've been sitting for a little bit too long. Okay. And you're not utilizing your creativity. You're not tapping into the passion, and you're not tapping into your intuition. And that's why things aren't really moving right now. I also think for some of you all, you don't feel abundant. You don't feel abundant like the Abonima goddess, okay? So it's like, when you're trying to manifest things, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm the best manifester, because Lord knows I'm not. You know, for many, I'm sure y'all can relate. It's like when you're not super focused on something, or you don't really care for something specifically, you manifest it easily like that, right? But when you're like, oh, I really want this, oh, no, right? It's like, where's the manifestation? Now, this is easier said than done, because a lot of us are attached to the results. A lot of us also ask or try to manifest from a place of desperation. That's oil and water. It don't mix. It does not mix. I'm going to give you a tidbit. And by me giving you a tidbit, I hope you do visit the Facebook group or the Creative Soul Circle, which I'll talk after the reading. Because I love to focus on soul care and embodying this, right? But many times I've been so focused on seeing results within my business or whatever, it takes away from my own, right? So I'm going to give you a tidbit. Yep, look at this. I'll give you a tidbit real quick. Sometimes there's certain rituals that I like to do where I give myself love and get into the energy of the Empress by taking a bath or doing something that really allows me to feel loved within myself and relax and calm and secure. Then I start creating things to start to manifest for, right? And then a lot of times too, I'm going to say, especially with this Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune is fortune, right? Fortune, but it's also cycles. And it's also about divine timing, which I do not like that word. But if you're creating something that is big, right? And Spirit knows it's big. Do you really think it's just going to come to you like boom? Like, do you want a house drop down on you? Like with everything already built in it and all this stuff, like decorated and stuff, you just want it to just come down like boom. You know, like for me, like nothing against anybody that manifests that. But people, like I remember I used to be in this manifestation group and people used to talk about, oh, I manifested in this house and da-da-da-da. But like nobody really telling us how long it took for them. Or maybe you've been for years thinking about this manifestation and something within you just was like, F this, I finally believed that. And then it aligned. You know, it's a process to everything. And many times when we're thinking about other people, not looking at our own, it becomes out of reach or we don't even see it. And we begin to not trust the decisions we're making because we're looking at other people. Four of Pentacles, in this case, I really feel like it's like you've just been sitting on ideas. There's been stuff that's coming to your head. There's stuff that's within your heart, but like, where are you moving to, bruh? I gotta speak to y'all like this because I feel like y'all need to hear this. You have valuable stuff, but you gotta believe it. You gotta believe that you are abundant. And you can't really be asking from the universe from a desperate place because the universe feels energy. And so if they feel you coming like, I don't know, like in like this desperate, fearful energy, then they gonna give that right back to you. Or they're gonna be like, look, she ain't ready yet. You know what I'm saying? Really tap into your intuition. The Queen of Wands here. The creation. This is a crown chakra. Know that your ideas are valuable and they're not made to just be sat on. They're made to take action. They're made to be processed and let it move through you, and trust that intuitive nature that you have, because I know you do. But trust it. Trust it, because then you'll start seeing things shift. I can't tell you the timing, but things will shift. And live more with intention and purpose, not careless actions. Some of you have to sit down, write it out first, you know? Again, like I said, if you're thinking of trying to do some type of manifestation, get into a vibe first, you know? Calm your nerves first. Drink some tea first, you know? And I'm going to drink some tea real quick because my mouth is dry. But you are magical. I hear this crow outside. Like, you are very magical. You know, this might be you from a past life, or this might be you right now. I don't know. She's communing with the tree. She has a crystal ball. She's tapping into this full moon. And for some of you, I don't really do timings, but some of y'all may see that manifestation come around this full moon, right? Or next full moon. Who knows? But what I will say is, for y'all, there's a need for you to just sit down with yourself. Make those intentions. Feel that purpose. Feel that passion. And then take action. As well as trust it. Because when you can trust it, it opens you up to all what you're trying to do in already. It just really trusts. This just seems like a very quick one. I don't know if it's time or not. I don't really look at the timing of it. I just let things flow. Because I trust it. And many times when I'm not at this tarot table, I don't be trusting stuff, you know? Or sometimes it's just the energy that I'm in, or the energy that I haven't released, and it makes me like second guess. And it's normal, y'all. We are human, right? But when we tap into our spiritual essence, that's what makes the magic. So get up off of that ass and get to that shit. I don't know. I'm not saying the right words, but it's a little song. Like, just get up off of whatever you're sitting on and start making more clearer intentions, right? So then you can feel like you have a purpose. So then you can feel that you are purposely doing this, and you have clarity with that. You have trust with that, and you're creating something, and you're taking your time, and you're processing that, and you're moving forward. Okay? For those that, like, a lot of y'all are just in, like I said, are in arm's reach. You just don't know. But there's a lot that needs to be trusted. And that's what it is. Because it's like, imagine all these things here that's floating around you literally, but you can't see it. And the only thing you have to do to see it is trust it. Just imagine that. Ain't that crazy? Trust goes a long way, y'all. So I trust what I know, what to do in every decision I make. I trust I know what to do in every decision I make. I trust I know what to do in every decision I make. All right? Affirm it. And start making clearer intentions for your action plan to move forward. If it's not much action to do, then get into a more zen-like state. Affirm that stuff and release it, and trust in the universe will provide everything that you need. All right? Easier said than done, but practice that more. Because if you really trust and you practice it more, you will see those results. All right? So much love to you, Pile 3. Please like, share, and subscribe. And talking about trust, right? I've came a long way with my trust to know that the right people were going to see this, right? And they're going to click on my links, my Facebook links. I have a Facebook group that I'm starting to help people with soul care and show and share certain techniques and tools that I like to use with cards. Tarot is not the all be all, but I know it's a popular word and a lot of people are like, oh, this is tarot. But if you want to be like particular, oracle, tarot, and other types of cards are different, but you can all use that to divine with. Clearly, as you see, right? These are my own cards that I did. I was doing Monday motivation, divining messages with these. I love cards. So I want to share how we can implement that in our self-care practices, which pile 3 I really think that you would love, because this didn't come out for nothing. You don't have to be a card reader to enjoy this. You can be a card reader to enjoy this, either or. Um, you can share your knowledge and perspectives on tarot, because this could have, 4 regular meanings in the book, right? But it could also mean various things when with combinations of cards. It can mean various things from other people as well. Any type of cards, right? But when you start creating things, creating an energy, it's a whole type of message that gets divined within you and helps you understand you. I'll just leave it at that, right? And then I have the Creative Soul Circle. That's a vibe. It's just more of a group thing, you know what I mean? And we really kind of step into more creative activities and creative discussions to help us remove and transform the blocks that we may be carrying, So I don't want to like say all of it. Just please click the link so you can check it out. Check it out. Okay. It really costs you nothing to check it out, and it doesn't cost you anything to participate either, honestly. I haven't started the membership yet. I'm just taking donations. So yeah. Check it out. Again, like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna move on to pile 4, y'all. Peace. Pile 4, not last but not least. Okay. So your affirmation is, I speak positivity over my thoughts and actions. I feel like this was pile 1. Ugh, I hope it's not. Anyway, y'all, I'm just not realizing that. That might have been pile 1. Damn it. Well, anyway, I hope that whatever. So, I speak positivity over my thoughts and actions, okay? So, I'm not quite sure where you're all at, but this definitely will help you where you're at in this new moon energy. I do think there's some things that you need to release. You may be wrapped up in fear, negative people, negative situations, or whatever, but there's just a need to really understand your power of your words and your mouth and all that, right? And really just start speaking positivity over it. Really affirm it. Like, if you don't know the words, just this is something very simple to just say, I'm speaking positivity over my thoughts and actions. Because a lot of times our thoughts can really just be like, ugh. You know what I mean? So I do not know how to say this. But see right there, that's kind of like, oh, I don't know how to say this. No, we're speaking positivity over. I do know how to say this, and I'm gonna sound it out, right? So I'm releasing all embarrassment right now. Sequoiant. Oh, that kind of sound like my name. No, it don't. Anyway, scarcity. Let's talk about it, y'all. This is the present moment. So I think a lot of y'all have been in, like I was saying, a lot of scarcity, a lot of fear is wrapped around you, whether you believe it or not. But I think by you coming to this, you can agree that there's been a lot of fear. There's been a lot of negative energy just in your head, holding you back from taking action. And so a lot of times people can be like, oh, this is not my energy. But what people are you around? Because somebody's projecting on it and now it's yours. So like, let's be in reality here. I don't know why I sound snooty, but like maybe some of y'all are just like, ugh, type of energy. And it's making you not really move forward of what you're trying to do. For some of you too, is like, you might not be owning up to the things that you've been doing here, because this is what's being illuminated right now, and this is what what you need to do, like some type of suggestions, advice that you can do to move into the energy of transforming and possibly manifesting. And that says mirror, like, look at yourself, physically and then internally. Since I don't really use this card deck that much, I'm gonna move this out and talk about Sequoiant. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know what? I don't know. So, Shadow of Scarcity, y'all. Beauty by day, a hag by night. The Sequoiant is an energy vampire, also known throughout the diaspora as Ole Higwe, or Boo Hag. Whether energy or blood for vampires, there is never enough to go around. I know about that, y'all. I mean, every card reading I do, I pretty much know about that. So I don't know why I keep saying that. You have so much more than you realize. You have access to unlimited joy, love, good times, pleasure, and prosperity. Be grateful for your riches. So it says, make a gratitude list. What are you grateful for right now? Vampires take from others because they don't have enough life force for themselves. That is scarcity consciousness. When we embody lack, you are always hungry, tired, and jealous. So I just kind of feel like double lives for some of y'all, and there's a need to get yourself together so you don't feel like you have to be in the shadows doing other things and being afraid that other people will see you for who you truly are. Because a lot of times, that's just a lot of guilt and shame attached to you, and it can be something beautiful out of it. I do not know why. So I remember I was watching something last night, and this lady was like, what came to mind, totally different, right? But some type of, the word came to her about serial killer, right? And she's like, oh, why did I say that? But if you think about it, right, a lot of people might be like, a serial killer? There's nothing beautiful that can come out of that, right? But yes, it can. Because the reason why a lot of serial killers have high IQs, very intelligent, right? But they also have so much sensitivity that whatever happened caused a lot of trauma, and now it's like, twisted their mind, right? So it's kind of like two people, maybe more than one, whatever. It's definitely a divide of like black and white for sure. There's really no like gray area, right? So stay with me real quick, y'all. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because how can something so evil and negative produce something beautiful? I'm saying that because they meticulously come up with creative ideas to unfortunately kill people, right? But if they could use that for good, what would they be making? Just hear me out. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the guidance, the nourishment, and the direction to do something with positivity. And I'm saying all that to say a lot of your shadows, the things that you do in the dark, can be redirected, can be transformed, right? Can be appreciated even. But you got to start appreciating that. You got to start appreciating that part of yourself so you're not strapping on and locking on to other people that you may be idolizing, that you may be obsessing, that you may be just dependent on, like a lot of codependency. And it's like, why do you feel like you need them? Don't you see that stuff within yourself? Soon as I started doing this reading, I was just like, And it's like, no, stop that. It's kind of like I want to just like tap that little booty out of a child. Like, stop the temper tantrum. Talk about it. Use your words. Express how you're feeling right now. It's okay. I really want to give the little you a big hug. Because a lot of times when kids are young, I'm thinking of my nephew right now. A lot of times when he will start snapping on you, y'all. But he'll snap on you because he's really tired. And he doesn't know how to explain and express his emotions. And he's only like 3, 4. And a lot of times this stuff that doesn't get nurtured grows into the adult and it still happens in a different way. We have to embrace both sides. We have to embrace all sides of us. It's not even just one or two. It's multiple things of us. Have you ever looked at your birth chart in astrology? It's so many different energies that you came into this world with. You're multifaceted. So start owning. Even if you don't feel good when you look at yourself, start owning it and saying, I speak positivity over my thoughts and actions. Keep speaking it until your mouth goes dry. Keep speaking it until your face turns blue. Because you got to speak it to believe it. And many times it's like, I don't believe it. But if you continue to speak it, what? If you say that 100 words every day for 100 days, you're going to believe that shit. Whether you really like, you're like, I don't know. Or it's in your subconscious, whatever. That's the power of affirmations. And you don't always have to speak it out loud. There's other things which you can learn in my Facebook group or Creative Soul Circle. Check links below. But moving back to the reading, it's like it helps you shift your mindset and your energy. It does. And that's the power of writing. That's the power of words. That's the power of speaking and expressing. Okay? So let's get a little bit deeper with the tarot. Let's get one more, y'all. Okay, and there we go. Okay. Yeah, there's some big shifts. If you start speaking these affirmations, if you start looking in the mirror, if you start just really like, it's going to be a lot of things shifting for you. Now, this Tower card can look a little bit like, what the is going on here, right? But a lot of things, it's kind of like, look at it this way. A lot of people have built this castle, right, and became Rapunzel. And Rapunzel is kind of like the little child in you. And you don't want people to get too close to you because they don't really want you to see who they are, because you've really felt like, damn, like whatever time and space when you were younger, people just really hurt you, right? And then now you just started, as you got older, just put this big building around you and just show something else totally of who you are to protect that little part of you. Look in the mirror and get in touch with it. You can nourish it too. And if you can't, and you feel like you can't, get somebody that you trust that can do that. And many times, if, you know, like a lot of people sometimes are still like on the fence of therapists and coaches and whatnot, but you know, you're paying for their time because they are a professional and they are going to do that job. And if they're not doing that job, sayonara, sucker, and find somebody else that you trust. Because this is the thing, you have a lot of emotional intelligence. You know, there is a cup that's coming in, but look at him. He's not looking at it. He's looking and sulking about the things that once was or what he has now. But there's something that can come in. This little hand in tarot is like a hand from spirit. Like, hey, hello, I have a cup for you. The Ace of Cups, right? And that's emotional fulfillment. But he's not going to get it if he's continues staring at that. And this is what's going on right now. You may be staring at a person. You may be yearning for a certain type of way of life, right? But you're missing something. And you're really missing connecting with your heart. And this is what gets you confused. You know, some of you are confused with just who you are, having an identity crisis, right? Some of you just might be like, oh, I don't know what to do. And you get confused because it's like you're not really trusting your true self. Hey, I'm a Gemini, y'all. I'm just going to sit here and say, we be confused like I don't know what. We make ourselves confused. But, you know, when we can really connect with our higher selves, Gemini, we are both spirit and human. It's almost like we're like Sag. What is it? Half man, half animal, right? And that man's supposed to represent the God in them. I kind of disagree. But right, going back to Geminis for a second, we embody the dual nature, and we can see both sides, but we have to really own our true middle, our true heart. You know, we're very powerful if we're on that 0 point energy, not 1 or 1,000, not negative 1 or 1,000, at the 0 point, the middle. Because then we know. You know what I mean? Another sacral energy. We're causing a lot of blocks here, y'all, Pile 4, for ourselves. We're causing a lot of blocks. And there's a need to get really, I just saw one of the cards I want to pop out. It's a need to get really vulnerable with yourself. Ask yourself, why can't I be vulnerable with myself? Can you take off the makeup? Whether it's figuratively or literal. Can you take off the makeup and look at yourself in the mirror? And really speak positive words over that image that you see in the mirror. Can you do that? Sometimes it's a tough pill to swallow. Because it's like you've really been talking so bad about yourself. But love on it. Write it down. Document your journey. But you got to start with you. And it always reminds, when I see this card, it always reminds me of that Michael Jackson song, Man in the Mirror. Like, I know a lot of times people have made fun of Michael Jackson and crucified him for whatever they thought he did. But at the end of the day, he knows what he did, right? And close people, I guess, to him. And regardless if he did bad or good, he still had to look at himself in the mirror. And that Man in the Mirror song gets real. I don't know who wrote it for him or if he wrote it himself, but it gets real. So what we have is, oh my gosh, y'all saw that. I love when Spirit does this. In reality, other people liking us is a bonus, but liking yourself is the real prize. Come on now. And then this. Dear past, thank you for the lessons. Dear future, let's do it differently. Let's do it differently by saying, I speak positivity over my thoughts and actions. If you have to say that in the mirror, do it. You're only by yourself. Do that. Be vulnerable. It's okay. You need that shift, because the things that you're trying to, like, especially like right now with this new moon, it's illuminating this darker side of you. Whether you believe darker is negative or whether you believe darker just means hidden. It's revealing that right now to you. And the things that you want, the things that you are seeking, aren't going to come in unless you break that down, unless you become aware of it, and unless you nurture and hug on and love on that part of you. It can be scary. But it's also like how when you see things in the dark, right, and you actually turn a light on, it's like, oh, that's what that was. It can be like that. It definitely is. It's very much like that. But you gotta find some type of emotional commitment, emotional intelligence, emotional fulfillment, and find that within you. And I'm seeing like this new moon and full moon, it's going to be a cycle of that. And if you can really trust yourself, you're going to see things ease up a little bit if you really trust yourself. But this is what's blocking you from whatever you're trying to get. And in order to receive that, in order to move forward and feel more fulfilled, even if you're not getting anything and you feel like just this stuck in the rut type of person, to feel more fulfilled is to find more gratitude within yourself and remove these blocks and speak positivity over yourself. Get out of that confusion. But right now you feel blocked and it feels very uncomfortable. But you do have to look at yourself. You do have to look at that shadow self. And you do have to look at, why you might be feeling like you might be that energy vampire. But I want to tell you, if you really want to come to terms and accept that maybe you are that energy vampire, it's okay. You can always change that. But you got to look at yourself first and understand why that you feel like you're not good enough. Why do you feel like you have to take and not give? It's all right. It's going to be all right. My loves, I still love people that do that. You know, I have compassion for them. But I really, really, really want and pray for people to want to change that about themselves. So this pile, um, you know, this is a little tough love. You know, if you're still listening to me and not taking offense by the words that I'm saying, um, really take time to love up on yourself. Take time to remember a memory of when you were just joyful and loving and just kind of carefree like a little kid, right? And then ask yourself, what do I need to feel that again? You know, what do I feel that I'm lacking to not feel that way? All right. I love y'all. Much blessings to y'all. And if you're looking for ways to be inspired of how to create more self-care, more soul care for you, and really remove a lot of these blocks and these shadows that keep messing with you and that you may be even afraid to look at, please, please, please check my Facebook group. The link is below. I give inspiration and motivation on soul care practices that you can do with cards and just get really creative with it. And I also have a creative soul circle that is more of a group thing. But we talk about that. I hit points on certain things and we discuss things creatively that is blocking us and how to transform that, together. And, we even practice breathing meditations to really help us tune into ourselves and our energy. So if you're really feeling the vibe, please subscribe. Check out the links below. I really, really, really hope to see y'all. Because, all people are welcome, especially if you're willing and open to figuring out new ways to change. I'm here for it. Um, but again, much love to you. Much love on this new moon. Let's use this energy to dive deep and release anything that's not serving us so we can really meet to our new goals, and just step into this new energy, y'all. All right, again, much love to you. Until next time, I'm outie. Peace.